charge on its last light. Same clothes, I'm from last night. Still lit like it's last night. Young living in the fast life, young. Smoke cloud from the ash pipe, catch air from the half pipe. I need a centerfold from the shows with the mansion. Chandelier dancing, counting a Branton, yeah. Been had hella Franks, man, it's ballpark figures. Might be in the field, but I came from the trenches. You can tell it's my time, look at better squint. I do like the charm on my wrist, let me glitch. Want me pay the way, I'm the wave, I'm authentic. Sitting courtside, got a sprain, nigga, I bring the gang for the gang. Nothing but a thing when I sing. Young Usain, I sprinting, getting fresh prints. Counting a blessing on blessing on blessing. They call me the reverend, y'all nigga play too much. I've been so gone off the prices, I end my hiatus by sparking that flame. Shit, y'all niggas stay in your lane, young entertained. I'm next to rain, the fuck is you saying? Out of my brain, not from this planet. Hide from the cameras, high up the energy sent to me. From the enemy, that's the advantage. By doing this damage, accounted advantage. I buy you my nemesis. This is my genesis. I never had privilege. They took our innocence. But fuck that, I'm young and I'm wild, going ignorant like Funhouse active. King of the palace. Rubber like Malcolm. Balled up, fist in the air to the fast lane. Yeah. Hands up in the air, they gun me down. I keep it on it, they crunching the numbers, I'm bringing out. Funhouse active, yeah. King of the palace, rubber like Malcolm. Balled up, fist in the air to the fast lane, yeah. Hands up in the air, they gun me down. I keep it on it, they crunching the numbers, I'm bringing out. Funhouse active.
Bet you never loved someone. Bet you never loved somebody like I just did. Bet you always hurt the ones. Hurt the ones you say you're so deep in love with. You don't know nothing, 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 nothing. You don't know what it feels like. Baby, I'm hurting, 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 hurting. And you don't even ask why. Why I'm staying up all night. I haven't slept since you came into my life. Why I'm drinking all the time. Why I'm feeling lonely when you're here by my side. I just want something, 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 something from you that feels right. But I know nothing, 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 nothing will do, not this time. You tell me that you care for me, but I don't think it's true. You say I know you got, but baby, all you got is you. You promise me you're everything, but never see it through. I don't think you truly love me. If you did, you wouldn't hurt me. Hate it when you call me up. Call me up to tell me you're not coming tonight. Hate it when you cut me off. When I'm trying to tell you that it doesn't feel right. If I know one thing, one thing, one thing, one thing, I know your loving ain't fair. You don't know loving, 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 loving. You don't know how to be there.
Yo, what's going on? I just saw a comment where someone said, can someone phone me when the stream begins? Sorry guys, I got things running in the background. I need to get my stuff sorted out. Please forgive me for that, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on, guys? What is going on? How is everyone today? So what's going on? All right, then, cool. We're going to get straight into it, guys. We've got some movement coming into the chart, so we're going to start looking at the key zones in the Bitcoin chart today. So what do we know? Firstly, Bitcoin has done something pretty interesting. Let's zoom out of the chart just to understand where we are. Okay, look, it's Thursday today. We know Thursday is a midweek reversal point for crypto overall, okay? We've already had a bit of a reversal to the downside, but they've stabilized at this point at the 40,815. The idea is this: will Bitcoin continue higher? Now, we've just had some news announcements come out, which was not favorable for the US dollar. So it meant that more people are claiming as they are out of work. But the bigger picture is inflation. That's really the problem. So as much as we would anticipate yen or dollar to drop down, it seems as though it's not actually doing anything about it. Look, seems like it's holding this range right here. But what's bizarre is Bitcoin is also showing similar behavior. It's moving up. Now, it's the season for earnings, okay? Now, we need to understand that the S&P and the Nasdaq itself have a correlation with Bitcoin, okay? But Bitcoin right now is moving up. All right. So we're going to try and see if we are going to see a stop hunt in Bitcoin. Because if Bitcoin is going to break out to this range to the upside, ladies and gentlemen, then we will be factoring the idea that this structure down here is going to see potentially another rise to the upside. Okay. However, because it's in this zone right now, we are testing the idea that Bitcoin is going to form this structure. So look, W formation, rise, retrace, continuation to the upside. But what we've got to be mindful of is are we heading towards stop hunt territory? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring price closer. We're going to roll onto the 15-minute time frame to understand the development of that. We're also going to bring up the book map and we're going to understand the following. Okay, so earlier on today in the masterclass, we saw that there was 1,154 Bitcoin stacked in this area and it's now gone down to 800 Bitcoin. Shorts are being liquidated. Go over to the high block itself and you can see that we do have quite a few shorts still present in the chart. We've still got $181 million worth of shorts that have not been liquidated yet at 41,763. In my opinion, that is the next point of interest in the chart, ladies and gentlemen. 41,763 is where most of the short liquidations reside, which will take us into this zone right here, roughly there or thereabouts. We'll mark that off in the chart, which will then take us above yesterday's high and last week's low. So in other words, could this be the point of a stop hunt territory? Okay, as long as Bitcoin can maintain this movement, all right, then we are all good. But we want to see Bitcoin break out of yesterday's high because it can come up into this range right here, initiate the stop hunt, and then try and pull back down again. So we just need to be mindful. We do have liquidity down here, ladies and gentlemen. The imbalance is in the chart. Come on. We have this zone right here that is a point of interest. So mark that off on your charts, ladies and gentlemen. Mark it off so that we understand where the liquidity resides. Because if we are blind with it and we don't care if Bitcoin can go lower, we're going to get caught out in certain positions. So we must be mindful of that. Let's move Bitcoin to the side right there. Let's get this up here and let's break our charts down in relation to the book map and understand. Here we go. We're about to see that liquidity. Look, 1,100 Bitcoin potentially getting ready to be absorbed by the book map. But remember, limit sells are imbalanced in the chart right now. So this is what the book imbalance is showing. If they break through this, we've got to be cautious because they are triggering limit sells. So they may naturally move price higher, hit the short liquidations with an interest to try and come back down again. So we've got to be cautious. Does this mean it's going to break out with speed? But we need to break 41,000, at least 41,485 for a confirmed move higher, because then we'll be going into liquidation points, which we could then see an explosive range breakout to the upside. So let's see what we've got right there. Yes, John Rodriguez, book your profits if you have made profits, ladies and gentlemen. You know, there's no glory in holding a profitable trade. It's all about taking the profit. So we just need to wait and see if we're going to get this move to the upside and if it's going to sustain. Could this be the development of a stop hunt, ladies and gentlemen? That is what it's all about. Okay then, here we go. 15-minute time frame, not really showing much activity. I need to go into the 5-minute time frame and see what the story is there. Okay, cool. Any vectors coming into the chart? Got to be very careful with this range. Okay, so the first green vector candle coming up above the 5 and the 13 EMA, happy days. But we've got to be careful. We're in stop hunt territory. Look, they've already maintained the behavior up here, here, and here. All right, so we need to see a clean break out of 41,473 to even consider anything. All right, so here we go. Not hit that Bitcoin order right there. 1,119, 121 Bitcoin in the chart, and they're not taking it. That's a problem. That is a problem, man. Let's see if we do get it. We've already had liquidations, so they're hitting short liquidations. We know 41,700 is where most of the short liquidations at 25x reside at. So we're going to need to see if we can actually exploit that. Louis, what's good, man? What's good? Pattern watchers, good evening, good afternoon. what is happening, guys. Just a heads up as well, ladies and gentlemen. If there's going to be any movement today in the charts, it's going to be today. Why? Because tomorrow the UK has a bank holiday and they will not be trading. Yes, cryptocurrency will still be trading. Forex will be trading. Everything will be trading. But London itself has a bank holiday. So in principle, we are down a pool of liquidity. So if there is a move, it's going to happen today. Then tomorrow, New York will have free roam to do whatever it wants. Okay? So they're going to set up the range today with the intention for New York to do something. We've got to be cautious. This is stop hunt territory. All right? Keep an eye out on this area. If Bitcoin can solidify a break higher, we need it to close above yesterday's high, which is quite far. And if it goes beyond yesterday's high, then we would anticipate them to come into the liquidity zone of 41,763, where there is $162 million worth of short liquidations. So let's see what they've got in store for us. Stopping volume candle on the 5-minute time frame to come back down into the daily open. That's going to be a problem. Look, they've not come to it yet. It's at the VWAP. We've hit liquidations, but they haven't followed through with it. Proof of the move will be done on the test of the daily open. This is what we're waiting for. Let me zoom into price right there so you can see it. Bright as day, clearly. And here we go. All right then, so what have we got? Let's see what they're going to do. New York futures will open at 2:30, which is in 20 minutes time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what they do. Oh, so New York is also closed tomorrow. Yes. Only equity. Yes. Well, that's going to be important because we are in new season, earnings season. So what I was talking about earlier on today is there's this correlation between Nasdaq and Bitcoin, and the correlation's been positive so far. Now that we're in earnings season, okay, if the big tech companies are declaring profits, then everyone's going to be rushing to tech, okay? Well, cryptocurrency in principle is tech, and Bitcoin seems to reflect that positivity. So all I'm saying is it could take an earnings announcement by a particular tech stock to show a negative reading. Like, for example, Netflix missed out on its expectations. Big stock could actually lead price to drop across the Nasdaq, which could then be reflected in Bitcoin coming down. The fact that they haven't taken this liquidity up here could be a spoof. They haven't forced price up. Is this the stop hunt? Vector candle, stopping volume to rip price back down into the range right here, ladies and gentlemen? Maybe. We will know in 20 minutes time. Or as usual, when I finish the stream, that's when Steve triggers the algorithm and starts making things happen. Let's dive into the orders and see what they're doing actually in this area here. VWAP rejection here, man. Not looking good. Not really seeing the liquidity coming in. Nothing happening in this area here. It's too quiet in my opinion. Way too quiet. I want to see that. Look, they've had the stop hunt rise in this area. Didn't take out that zone. That could be a spoof. They may cancel these orders. They may cancel them. It all depends on what they're trying to achieve. Price coming down. Stop hunt rise, drop, come back in. At least if we can hold the daily open, happy days. If we can't, we'll be breaking into this range right here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we do get that fire move. Yeah, banks are reporting today. That's true. Banks are reporting. Yeah, offered $41 billion, was it? $43 billion to buy Twitter. Which could then lead him into talking about crypto. Yeah, maybe. I think he won't be able to say a single word. If he wants to buy Twitter, he would not be able to say a single word about cryptocurrency, in my opinion. Because that will just be one massive shilling pit. That's what I think it would be. All right, then let's focus. Here we go. We've got some movement right now in the chart. So they've not come back up into this range. Sell orders right here seem to have triggered price to move down. Shorts have been liquidated. They haven't followed through with a continuation to eat the shorts. All right. But if we look on the high block itself, we know that on the bigger time frame that there is a lot of long liquidations down below. Is this move to the upside going to bring price into that area? That's the key question. Here we go. Look at this. There's a ton load of 50x traders right here with a few 100x traders as well. They've made the move up, but they haven't followed through with this area. So are we going to see them bring it back down into this zone right here because they committed a few more longs? If we look here, you can see there's $77 million worth of longs. We've got a bigger amount, $152 million worth of longs. So look, there is a fair disparity here. Above there's 881 million at 41,763 that hasn't been liquidated. And we've also got down here $152 million worth of longs that haven't been liquidated. Even lower, we have $168 million worth of longs in that range as well. Okay, so the question stands, what would they likely move towards? Okay, that's the question. Because you can see right in the visible range right there, there's $434 million worth of long liquidations in this range. That doesn't make sense. Okay, there must be more. There has to be more in this range. Maybe actually it could be correct, but there's more shorts at 12.5 billion. So in this area here, as you can see with the chart itself, this is the assumption that there are more liquidations of shorts. Only $500 million in longs. Will they come back into that range? Let's see if they decide to do so. Okay, so look, on the order book itself, Bitcoin's come down into the VWAP, all right? The algorithms supposedly like the VWAP, can tend to trigger certain buying and selling programs based off the VWAP, all right? Now, what we're looking for in principle, guys, is we're looking for moves in the sense where if they're going to follow through with a break to the upside, okay, it would need to show consistent green bubbles. So we want to see that progression. But because it's stalling in this area here, it's like this zone right here appears to be a wall. But the problem we've got is there's liquidity up there. Yes, there's liquidity down here, but there's more liquidity close by. So in other words, if they move price up here, can Mr. Market Maker trigger sell orders, get his shorts filled at the highest point to mark price down lower? Well, they tried it here and they didn't follow through with it. Okay, so we just need to drop it down. See what liquidity is present. See, that's where it is. They're staying there. Nothing down below. Not much. Nothing important, that is. Look, there's nothing down here. There's only liquidations in this area. Remember, this is only limit orders. Okay? We can't see liquidations in this chart other than when the event has happened. Here we go. Now we're getting the movement. Here we go. Broken the daily open, ladies and gentlemen. Now we might see it. This needs to cancel. They need to get rid of this if it's going to be a spoof, because they can then sense that price isn't going to come back up to here because interest favors lower prices. Although they can leave it there for as long as they want, but if it acts as a spoof, which is a fake order, then they will remove the liquidity and look to try and get filled at lower prices. Here we go. Bitcoin breaking down into that range. They've come into that point, ladies and gentlemen. There's your stop hunt rise, drop to the downside. Let's see if it can be sustained. Bitcoin has a lot of work to do if it's going to try and break down lower into this area. Notice how it's come up into here, come back down into the range. Want to see it release this point right here. If it does, happy days. We're going to see some movement to the downside. Not so much happy days, but you get what I'm saying. We're seeing the liquidity being moved. The fact that they tried to make their way towards here and didn't follow through is quite an interesting thing. But let's see if they actually do follow through with it. Here we go. Bookmap. Long liquidations are being hit right now, ladies and gentlemen. So they spent enough time where they could have hit that zone. They didn't. Now the long liquidations are coming into the chart right here. Price is trading down below the VWAP. Now we want to see the proof of the move. Are they going to break down lower and break this structure in the chart right here, which was the 800 EMA on the 5-minute time frame is the 1 hour 50 EMA on the hourly, and then the 4 hour 13 EMA on the higher time frames. So we are really at very important points in the chart where structure in the chart itself can hold or it can break. So let's see what they do for us in this zone right here. Let me get a bit closer. Let me see what's happening here. Okay. So, not really. Okay, we've had the push lower, trading below the VWAP. Cool. All right then. In yesterday's stream, okay, this is what we saw. In yesterday's stream, before the move up, they were trading below the VWAP, okay? And then we saw the liquidity come in. They started triggering the shorts to the upside. Happy days, liquidation, liquidation, liquidation. And this finalized, slowed it down. And they didn't go that too far up. Yeah, did they come up to the 41,800 zone? Let me see. Did they go up into that area? 41,800. all the way up to that point. No, they didn't take that zone. So that liquidity didn't get taken out. Okay. So this move could be consistent with a stop hunt to the downside. Let's see if they actually decide to do it. Okay, here we go. 1,082, still holding that liquidity there. Could be a spoof, ladies and gentlemen, but Bitcoin needs to break down if it's going to prove that otherwise. It will pump again at 41.60. Happy days if it can pump again at 41.60. We've broken the daily open. Okay, stop hunt rise when they could have sent price higher, didn't follow through. Look at the volume on that. You can see big stopping volume candle comes in more or just about as much as this area here, which they tried to force price down lower. So we may see further activity to the downside before we actually see a move back up. If we look at the higher time frames in principle, ladies and gentlemen, we are sort of looking good, okay, to try and come up. But if they can't break above this range right here, ladies and gentlemen, even get above the daily open and stay above the daily open, then they're going to try and come into this area here. Okay, so we just need to wait and see if they can actually do that. So this is what I mean about today, stop hunt territory. They can move up and down and throw people about with the idea of where price could end up and where it's likely to go, but they need to finish the business. That's what they need to do. Here we go. Movement. Starting to move down, coming into this previous vector point. This is where the long liquidations are. We've got a lot of 100x traders and 50x traders in this area here. Is it going to release lower and start releasing more long liquidations? Maybe that's going to be the case. I'm not seeing liquidity coming in. If I zoom out on the actual bookmap chart, where in the chart could we see interest for traders to step in? Hypothetically, this is where it could be. Let me zoom out. Look, these are points here where orders have been previously resided. In other words, if price is going to try and come into this range right here, this is where we could trigger interest. But if the pressure is to move price down lower itself, all right, they may not sustain support in this area here, all right? So then we go even lower in the chart just to understand how, like, look, this is the point here, okay, which sits at 40,500. This floor of price, okay, seems to be a point where they could mark price into because that's where most of the interest resides, all right? The idea is, are prices, or should I say, are traders going to wait for it to get down there before they trigger, or they're going to start putting in their orders higher up? That's the question that we need to try and understand and relate that into the price action itself. Here we go. All right, so cool. Here we are. Let's see what happens in that instance. Let me move the chart here. Okay, so choppy behavior, guys. Very choppy behavior. NASDAQ seems to be turning back up ever so slightly. It's done a good job of coming down into this area here, guys, but it's flat. Big rejection at the daily. Point of interest is here. That's where the proof of the move would be. If they're going to trigger more retail traders to go short from this point where they're able to then go long from again. So that's where we would ideally want to see price going. But if it can get back up above the daily, then happy days. Because then they can come back into this wick, but the narrative is showing that they're moving lower. So we're just waiting for that break. I'm waiting for a big delta to step in. And these are delta bubbles. This is volume accumulating buys and sells at each point in time in the order book. Remember, this factors in the ask and the bid and the relationship of in relation to price. 1,082 Bitcoin right here. Thanks, Matt. I saved you. Well done, Indian Kitchen. Happy days. Okay, yeah, banks are reporting lower earnings. The IMF sees Ukraine issue as bearish. Yeah, maybe. If the banks are declaring lower earnings. But, I mean, look, if NASDAQ can show some good earnings, that could be reflected in Bitcoin. Who knows? But we need to see, what we're seeing now is the development of the move to the downside. We know the liquidity is here in the book, in the hybrid system. These are the vector candles. This is where Mr. Market Maker traps his shorts to the upside. Sorry, gets traders to go long. He builds his shorts and then he releases them to the downside. Okay, we're witnessing that by means of long liquidations being taken because traders are looking for direction. Traders want to get involved. And this is what happens when the delta is at its highest. Look, 351 Bitcoin gets absorbed in that area. So the delta was positive. Traders are buying. But then what happens? It reverses back. Because buyers, as retail traders, buy at a premium. Mr. Market Maker sells at a premium. You buy at discount. You don't buy at premium. Okay? You never go into a shop and ask, I'd like to buy the most expensive item, and as long as it's increasing in price, I'm happy to pay for it. Doesn't make sense. You know? Here we go. It's a slow session, ladies and gentlemen. It's a slow session. We're not getting the activity that we desire in the chart. Something could be brewing. They've done the stop hunt. We've got 6 minutes until the start of the futures market. So that's going to be bringing volatility unless Bitcoin decides to move the volatility and get into the play. Something else that could happen, ladies and gentlemen, on the smaller time frames that you might need to be aware of. This zone right here, if it's going to hold to move to the upside, we would need to see this structure coming into play. Right there. Are we forming another inverted pattern? On the idea it's going to come back up. That could be happening. But I'd want to see it come down lower. And if we do see it come down lower and it breaks through this range, then we accept that the pattern has failed. Remember, this is on the 5-minute time frame. The smaller the pattern, I'm not speaking to you. The smaller the pattern, the more prone to failure it is. Which is why if you trade smaller time frames and you've realized the profit, make sure you pay yourself. It is crucial you do that, because why are you in trading in the first place? Okay? Here we go. Here we go. Got some activity right now. Here we are. Now, so this could be the test back up towards this point right here. Anticipating 5 more minutes until the start of New York futures markets. This is good news for us if it can come back up. Still trading below the VWAP. Try and trigger interest from this zone right here. Our trader's going to step in at this point to show support at the VWAP right there. Let's see if they can do it, man. Can they absorb that 1,073 Bitcoin right there? Because I'm not seeing anything happening in this area here. Okay? If they come down, because they've come and hit 50% of this vector point right here. Coming back into the daily open. That's a good sign, but there's nothing for us to do just yet. Careful. Careful, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get too excited. Do not get too excited. The move is too fast. Just be careful. Still not hit. These orders up here aren't increasing. 1,085 Bitcoin. It's not increasing. Because there's not that much coming into this point right here. This could be a stop hunt. Be careful. Retail sales came in lower than expected. Okay, so that is favorable for Bitcoin. If dollar yen's going down, dollar yen's coming down. Okay, cool. That should lead Bitcoin to move up. Gold. Gold is doing not much. Go back to Bitcoin. Ah, man. What are you doing there, bro? Wow. What have you done? What has this guy done? What have I done? Man, Tino, what have you done there? Here we are. Now going back up into the daily open. Be careful, guys. Be extremely careful. So they tricked the traders to step in here. They pulled it back. We need to be sure that they're not going to do the same thing. So what we're looking for is we're looking for a nice volume push breakout to the upside. And once the breakout happens and they recover this area right here, retrace into the zone will bring the moving averages further up. And then we can ride the 5 and 13 EMA on the smaller time frames. Look, be careful. Another stop hunt. A stop hunt is when price moves aggressively in one range and pulls straight back. And what they're doing is they're hitting traders' liquidity. Okay, they're hitting the guys who have got stops, liquidation points in the chart. Here we go. Not seeing the big, 125 Bitcoin in this area here. Not so much interest. Not compared to this 260 and then 246 and then 145 Bitcoin. In other words, we'd need to see the same amount of liquidity coming into this point to solidify and move back up. But if we're not going to see it, this could be another stop hunt to bring it back down again. Remember, this is the 5-minute time frame, guys, so please be careful. Yeah, Coleman, man, I do speak at speed, but I'm speaking into real live price action. Okay, so this is what you're thinking in the back of your minds when you're trading. I'm just voicing into speculation, bro. So if you want me to slow down, please press 1. If you want me to carry on with the speed that I normally go at, please press 2, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what's good for you. I can keep it as boring as possible or as exciting as possible, but trying to maintain a balance in the charts, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, if you are... I'm not angry, he's Greek. Listen, if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for passing through, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't have access to these indicators in the back and trading view, top pin to the top of the chat is the website, tradersreality.com, where you got walkthroughs on how to get this stuff installed and downloaded. It's free of charge, so show some love. Here we go. So 2 carry on as normal. All right, then. Actually, I see a 20 up there. Let's speed things up, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. All right, then. Cool. If, as I said to you over here, if the liquidity comes in, a break above this point, which was failed over here, is a good opportunity for us to see price move higher. All right. We know that there's short liquidations up here at 41,763. So there's $182 million worth of shorts up there. It's what it does before it gets there, because we know once it gets there, the liquidity will be absorbed. All right. Because it's dead money for Mr. Market Maker. All right. This has got to be a cautious candle because they're coming into the last point of the wick where the stop hunt range was present. So we just need to be mindful of that. We've got to be careful. Here we go. Let me just look at this for a second. Let me close this point in the chart. Let's see if Bitcoin's going to do it. New York, ladies and gentlemen, let's roll with the fire. Let's go. New York futures are now open. Are they going to break into this range? Will they trigger these sells? Here we go. Oh, look at them, man. Look at what they're doing. The liquidity's not there. For this move up here is not the same as what this was right here. So retail traders were buying in this instance. Mr. Market Maker was selling at the premium of the highest point. Okay, that justifies why price has come back down again. How can 260 Bitcoin gets brought there? You've got $145 million Bitcoin has been absorbed there. And of course, 246 was provided for at that point right there. Okay, so that's what's transacted. Price moves up, doesn't follow through. So we got to be careful. This is what the retail trader does. He buys when he sees his big candles. He buys when he gets a notification from crypto.com. Bitcoin is up 2%. Happy days. Let's start buying Bitcoin, baby. Yeah, man. Let's buy into the guys who are selling it to us. We're providing liquidity. Come on. We don't want to be those guys. We want to be buying at discounts and selling at premiums. And that's what the hybrid system does. It helps you understand the relationship between when price makes a move to the upside, why does it not follow through? We look at the profile of the candlestick and say, okay, how likely is it going to come back up into this zone? Or how likely is it going to go beyond the zone and come back down again? So we're in stop hunt territory. So we just got to be cautious. Here we go. 1,107 Bitcoin in that chart. Still not following through yet. Some more liquidations have come into the chart. Be careful, ladies and gentlemen. Be careful. Don't moon out. Do not get engaged in the moon boy status. You don't want that. You want to make sure you've got proof of the move. There's no clear move to the upside just yet until they break into this area here. The 41 zone, 41,300, and of course this area here. It is quite far away, but look, it's the 5-minute time frame. What are you looking for? If you're looking for a big break to the upside, as traders, you'll be waiting for the pattern to complete. But we're in stop hunt territory, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we are right now, so we just got to be cautious. Look at them again. Look, 68 Bitcoin at that point, still no follow through. They added, look, it was 1,135, I think it was, 1,120 or something. And now it's gone back down to 1,098. So it's like they're adding, they're taking away, adding and taking away. Again, look, pin to the high, pulled it straight back down. Stinks. It stinks of a stop hunt. Not liking it. Could be like a mini M structure. Why are they delaying on going through to hit this range? Could be a spoof, but the liquidity is sat in the chart right there. Hasn't been filled, but it's sat. It's resting. Is it? Look, 125 now. 1,126, 1,133. So they're adding liquidity. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, as much as we would want a narrative to come into play, at any moment in the chart, they can change. And that's what you've got to understand. You have to be prepared to change the narrative. You have to be prepared to go with the flow, okay? Because there's a saying in Wall Street that says, good traders cut their losses, great traders change direction, okay? And that's what it's about. It's being able to be confident in your ability to understand how likely are they going to move higher, okay, as against them going lower. How likely are they trying to trap traders to the belief of price moving higher in preparation to move it back down again, all right? No cigars until they break above this area here, ladies and gentlemen, because we're in stop hunt territory, so we've got to be careful. Coming back up into the VWAP again, more liquidations are being triggered. 2 events. We've had a few liquidations in here. So the shorts are getting hit, but they're not taking this range. There's something going on here, man. Why so much Bitcoin is being... Look how much is dropping now. 1,094, going back down again. This might be a spoof. Come on. Let's see if it is a spoof. If it drops drastically, then the interest, there it is. Come on. Come on, Bitcoin. Show me the proof of the move. Because I want it to come down so then I can get proof of where they're going to hold from, because this is where the interest was. Now it's coming back down into the daily open. Still 1,083 Bitcoin right there. I want to see him take it off to get it filled sooner. That's what I want to see, because that will prove to me that it was a spoof. Fake orders, man. But if it holds, it's a different story. Look at this behavior, ladies and gentlemen. Stop hunt. This is consistent with stop hunt territory. We've now got the futures markets open, so they're all absorbing the information. Here we go. Now we're trying to get more Bitcoin coming into this area here. Here we go. Coming into the wick. No cigars yet, guys. Just wait. No cigars. Liquidations. Here we go. Coming into it. Break. They've hit that zone. 1781. Has it been absorbed? Not been absorbed just yet. Look at that. Not being absorbed. Let's just look closer. They missed it, man. Look how much they've missed it. Come on. They've got to take that liquidity. Stop hunt territory. Look how they just missed it. Ah. Ouch. Is that a stop? Is that going to turn into a vector candle? A red vector candle? Are we going to see a vector candle appear in that zone? No? Come on. This is consistent with stop hunting, ladies and gentlemen. Spiky moves up, bringing it back down again. Look at it. Here we go. Look. Look how they missed it, man. That is despicable. They're probing that area, man. It's a probe. Test 1. Test 2. Come down. Try it one more time. If they can't break that, another form of liquidation. So they're getting into the habit of hitting shorts. There's liquidations, liquidity nearby for them. Will they release out? That's what I'm waiting for. Come on. I want to see trend, a nice trending, not this spiky behavior. But we are in stop hunt territory, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got to be cautious. There are market makers everywhere. Tremendous up hike. Yeah. They're market makers everywhere. Liquidity providers all over the place. The idea is this. That in cryptocurrency, it's all about market makers providing liquidity. In the NASDAQ, it's all about traders buying into liquidity of stocks. All right, that's why they say when you're trading stocks, you want to be looking at stocks that are trading above 1 million shares or more for true liquidity, because there's that fair exchange. There is market makers everywhere. There's liquidity providers everywhere. Okay, it's just which ones are going to be setting up ranges for each other. You've got 3 types. You've got the guys in Asia, you've got the guys in Europe, and you've got the guys in the US. Okay, their relationships with exchanges which provide services for traders like ourselves to be able to open and close trades, and making sure that we have the flexibility to open and close trades is where Mr. Market Maker comes in. He provides that seamless transaction. All right, he takes a fee off the spread, he marks up price in a certain way, and he transacts and makes his money off the difference that you pay in the ask or the bid. That's how it works. Okay. All right then, cool. Stream is delayed. Stream should be pretty well. All right, so 41,207, still not got above this zone. Now they've added more, so we've got 1,144 Bitcoin that is yet to be filled, man. This is a big wall right here. There's short liquidations, but this is also a place where traders could be selling off from. So 2 things could happen here, guys. If they don't break through this wall right here, where there is a ton of Bitcoin that they can absorb in the book, all right, then Bitcoin is likely to continue down lower, all right? However, if they do break above it, then we would see massive liquidity coming in, which would be an even bigger stop hunt, which will then be the liquidation points that are being absorbed in this area. But if they don't break that point, we won't see that. Right now, Bitcoin sharply coming down again into the daily open, okay? If we look on lower time frames, we should see vectors. M formation, stop hunt, rise, drop. Vector? Is it a vector candle? There it is. Vector candle right there, coming down into that point. So a test of this point could be of interest. So let's see. All right, here we are. Still got that wall. No interest. 20 minutes until the start of a new 1 hour candle. New York usually tends to move after 3 o'clock, so they could be setting up the range. This is the brink session, ladies and gentlemen. So be mindful. Bitcoin coming back down again. They've rejected the wall. Mini M formation right here. Is Bitcoin going to flush out? take out the long liquidations from the high block that we've been looking at over here. They're going to come down. A lot of traders have gone long in this zone right here. If I just quickly pull that up for us and have a look at the high block and see what liquidity, assumed liquidity is coming to the chart. Here we go. So 42 million up there, 10.5 million up here as well. We've got 14 million in this zone. We've got 42 million right here. Liquidation points for longs at 41,012. So 41,012 could be. Here we go. Red vector candle. Be cautious, ladies and gentlemen. There could be a stop hunt. Be careful. Another stop hunt low to come back up. Recover the vector candle. It might move with aggression, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big push back into the vector zone. Wait for it. 14 seconds. Here we go. Proof of the move. Wait for it. Will we get a sharp pullback? Triggering the shorts. Come on. Longs are getting liquidated. They make run for it. Look. Be careful. Be careful. Sharp move back up. There it is. Now we're going to know the proof of the move. Traders have just gone short. Okay? This is what's caused this candle. Are we going to see the flush down? Back into the zone. Here we go. Happy days. Let's move. Longs are getting liquidated. They're eating the longs. Eating the longs. Shifting out. 800 EMA, which is the 13 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, 50 EMA on the 1-hour time frame. If it violates this, look at these longs liquidations. They're eating them. Coming into these zones. Eating. It's breakfast time for Mr. Market Maker, ladies and gentlemen. Breakfast is being served. Now, be careful. This is it. Now they're breaking. Let's see if they're going to run for it. Because let's look at the logic. If this liquidity stays there, all right, you're going to want to build your longs to guarantee that when you move price back up, there's someone present to sell into. Yeah? That would make sense, wouldn't it? You're not going to get here when you haven't been dropping price. That's paying a premium, man. So they're moving price down, buying at a discount. Look at the delta. Oh, wow. Can't even get it into my chart. Look at this. Happy days to the downside. They're coming to the pool of liquidity, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. They've absolutely ripped the retail trader alive. Unfortunate stories, ladies and gentlemen. This is a sad day in cryptocurrency, but it's standard for Mr. Market Maker. Liquidations of the longs, 25x traders are paying the price. That's what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunate event. Drop, stop hunt, rise. Continuation to the downside, guys. Whatever happens after this now, ladies and gentlemen, will be the proof of the move. Okay? But they have just come down and eaten all retail traders who haven't been paying themselves. This is why I say to you guys, pay yourselves. It is critical. Okay? Absolutely critical. Who's chatting? Who's talking wet in the streams, man? I got no time for you. We know what the story is, ladies and gentlemen. We know what the story is. Here we go. Bitcoin coming in. All right. It's funny how understanding the narrative of why they never released this area here. Okay? Because then they would be selling into a premium point. Maybe this move here is designed for it to come back. Okay? They've come into the pool of liquidity right here, which is consistent. It's Thursday today, ladies and gentlemen. We know what the story is on a Thursday. They initiated the stop hunt rise, dropped to the downside. Happy days. Make a decision. We are still in the structure, ladies and gentlemen. We're still all good in this area here. Okay? We see the retrace. Let's see if we're going to get the support coming in. Because now Mr. Market Maker is selling at... Sorry, he's buying at a discount. Not at a premium. So this is where the proof of the move is. Here we go. Still that liquidity is present up there. 3 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let me tell you. We said earlier on that today would be a very interesting day in terms of movement because tomorrow in principle is the last day of trading. Okay. Today's the last day of trading before the bank holiday. All right. So if they're going to move things, they're going to move them today. All right. Let's see what happens. Let's see. USD, JPY moving up. Remember, listen, I have no interest. Now, I'm going to be straight with you. I don't care if Bitcoin goes to 100K or it goes to 10K. I'm looking for movement. All we made reference to in here is how much money was present in there, Why or what was the unlikeliness of it actually hitting, and what were the chances of it hitting? Okay, the idea was there was a stop hunt range, that's what we were in, and the stop hunt played out. Stop hunt rise, took the range, and reversed price. This was the stop hunt territory, and this is the result of it. Okay, they've hit the long liquidations. Now we're waiting for, in essence, a reset back into the fray. Let's see what the story is. Funnily enough, oops, reconnecting. I've got a problem here, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? We kill that. No, liquidity's good. Are we all good in the stream? Is the stream still running? Is the stream still running? Here we are. Bit more of a continuation. 11 seconds until the start of a new 5-minute candle. They may release into this zone, ladies and gentlemen, which sits in the 40,000 zone right here. 40,500. Remember what we said about 40,500 just a few moments ago. They just missed it. It's the start of the vector candle range. They may release into it, guys. Be careful. High block. What's down here? 39,872 is present. Now we've just had $119 million worth of shorts opened. Okay, $119 million worth of shorts are coming into the chart. They're going to come and swipe the longs liquidations, keep the short traders in. Here we go. Coming into this area. This is the liquidity zone. Bookmap is showing liquidity coming in here. So we're looking to see more shorts getting longs getting liquidated. They're eating the range, man. Let me zoom out. Let me see what we've got here. Okay, remember what we said yesterday. All right, remember what we said yesterday about this image. This zone right here is the 39,300 zone. This area here is the 40,400. This is where commitment could come in from where they came from yesterday. So we're looking for this range for potential support. Okay. 40, there we go. But, oof, that was sharp. Violet vector candle coming into the chart. We're looking for support. Now we're hunting for the support. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for a bounce. Some of the guys know about the V-shaped plays. Now won't be the time. Still probably getting into the state of they're still creating the play itself because it's the first move from the range after the stop hunt. So let's see what they're going to do here. Bit of a retrace. Continuation lower. Coming into this gap right here. Let's see if they can do it. Let's have a bit of check on the stream. 1,600 of you people are showing love. Mad love and respect. We got 400 likes. 400 of you loving the stream. Happy days. Today is my last stream for the week. Okay, so tomorrow I'll be doing a couple of videos for you guys. A review for the holders of the channel. And try and exploit any price action coming into the weekend. So giving you the heads up now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and then on Sunday we will have the levels stream, bringing in the psychological levels at the start of a new trading week. Okay, but I must say it has been a pleasure with you guys over these past couple of days with Bitcoin doing these mad movements. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, we haven't broken down the structure yet. If we look at the higher time frames, look, if we look at the higher time frame, things are good. Don't worry, because we haven't broken this structure yet. If we go beyond this structure here, which is the 39,176, then we've got a problem. Until we break that range, we don't need to be worrying about anything. Because we could be in the midst of a bigger pattern happening on the 4-hour time frame. What if we've got the what's happening here? What if we've got the second leg of a W formation forming, ladies and gentlemen? What if that's the case? W right there. What if? Yeah? Remember, smaller patterns have more prone to failure, right? What if we're forming the second leg? We've had the peak. Now here's the second leg. How low will it go? That's the question. Here we go. Bit more movement. Fast move to the downside. Is it going to come into that range? We need to wait. Shorts, look. Look how many people got liquidated short, man. All these guys are 100x traders here. Yeah? 100x traders going short at the lowest possible point. Look, 1,429 Bitcoin, okay, was placed in the shorts, okay? Selling. Now what? Goes up, takes them out, moves price down again. Sad days. Sad days. Absolutely sad days. Dollar yen, stop hunting. Let's see if we're going to get that movement. One more break, man. That's what I want to see. I want to see the drop, impulse move, consolidate, continuation. 40,000 is the point of interest, guys, because that's where it all started from yesterday. Now you can see the liquidity starting to come off. It's not as dark anymore. All right. So these guys might be starting to inflate, place orders in this area here in anticipation to get filled sooner. Because now that price has dropped, it means Bitcoin is now at a discount. Okay. So now we've got people going short. That means as it's dropping down, if any attempt to come back up, means that traders are going to be buying. So that means the guys who went short, or Mr. Market Maker who has gone Mr. Market Maker that wants to take his profits on his shorts now has people he can sell into to take advantage of his longs being built at lower prices. So that then when he then marks price up again to the shorts to the upside, he has more liquidity here to sell into. So that's where he is able then to trigger price movement to the downside again. It's a crazy game, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking at the charts thinking that you just buy when it goes to one point to the next, you're probably going to be a liquidity provider to Mr. Market Maker. And that's the sad truth of the game. You want to be riding the moves of Mr. Market Maker by understanding his intentions of price at one point against the next. Go back towards the beginning of the stream when we were focusing on this area here and understanding why that if we didn't get the break higher, it was an attempt for them to move it down lower. And we had that stop hunt and it didn't follow through. If we did break through, then we would have naturally seen that Market Maker would have been moving price higher to take out the liquidation points to the upside. But they, of course, favored the lower zones, which means now they've committed more shorts in the chart. So we're going to go for a different payday soon, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. Yes, yes. Remember, there are more shorts than there are longs in the chart, okay? They could be eating the long liquidation points right now to trap more shorts. That could be a possibility because until Bitcoin breaks any key notable area, especially below 39, the move to the upside could still happen, okay? Until otherwise. So all it is about understanding the relationship of what price does at certain points in the chart to understand and say, right, what's actively happening here? Is Mr. Market Maker trying to buy at the lowest point? And when he decides to stop, what would I see? You would see massive deltas to the downside. Deltas showing traders need to go short because everyone is selling, selling, selling. You can't sell if no one buys. That's the truth of the market, ladies and gentlemen. Coming into 10 to 3, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to see this through to you all at 3 o'clock. And then I'll be leaving the stream. I do have to go and pick up the mini market maker. Here we go. Bitcoin. There we go. Going into the pool of liquidity, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming into this range. Remember yesterday? This is the zone. Right here. 40,400 will trigger some interest in this area here. Let's see if they do it. 40,500 liquidations coming in. Look at the longs, 213k, $230,000 worth of longs being liquidated right now. They are eating the range. Look what's happened here. The liquidity is gone. It was dark red. Now it's starting to disappear. Look at that. Counts. Look at that. 1,000. Now it's 743. Spoof orders, man. Spoofing the orders. If it stays at 743, then we'll understand. But they've just taken a lot of liquidity in that zone. People are now rushing for shorts. So now we could see some more movement to the downside. So be careful, guys. You're not looking for shorts, unfortunately, guys. You've missed the move. Now, Bitcoin could completely collapse from here. And you say, yeah, but Tino, you said. Well, if you are confident in your ability as a trader, be responsible. That's all I'm saying. I'm dictating to you price as it plays out. You can gather that it can change at a moment's notice. Remember, retail is selling right now, but Mr. Market Maker is buying up in this zone. How long is he going to buy up for? Different story. We know that this is the previous pool of liquidity in the chart. There could be a turning point at this stage of the 40,400 range because that's where they last moved from yesterday. This is that area, okay? So we need to understand all the guys that went long in this area here have now got the problem of their liquidations being taken out, which is towards the 40,400. Look at the chart. 40,400 right there. Look at the liquidations. Those same guys that were in the long from yesterday didn't pay themselves. Sad days. You know? Very sad days. So sad. Come on. Give me that break. And one more push. We've had the first push. One more. Break lower. Delta's coming in. 238 Bitcoin. Shocking. And 24. 312. See you later. 302. 231. And 1,105. Bruv. Mr. Market Maker is buying up in this area. Let's see how long he holds it for. And now you're starting to see liquidity coming in at this point. Let's see. Let's see what happens. How long is he going to be buying for? That's the question. I can imagine the dollar index is going crazy right now. We just need to sit tight here. Mellors, when would you have possibly entered a trade here? Just want to know you recognize the point. It all goes so fast. Well, we wouldn't be looking at trades here. We'd be looking at trades up here. Okay? I will try my best to try and get you. If you hear what I'm saying, then you're not listening. What I'm trying to say to you is we're talking about the breakdown of price. We understand in the terms of the hybrid. Now, if you are new to the channel, I get it. That's fine. It may be a little bit confusing for you. Okay? But we can see that there's a structure here, like an M formation. We know that this is a stop hunt territory. We can see liquidity in the chart, but they're not going towards it, faking out the ranges. Now, this is all in line with the market maker method and the understanding of the hybrid system itself. Again, if you are new, pinned to the top of the chat is the website with the indication, with the indicators you can download for free. Bookmap is a paid service. Just Google it, check it out. But what I'm saying to you is I use the Bookmap from a scalping perspective because I like to exploit these ranges, but it helps me understand the way the candles develop. I understand that this is where Mr. Market Maker is going long from. He's starting his longs. He's marking down price. He's coming back into previous pools of liquidity that he previously went short from. So now he wants to realize a profit on those plays. I look at this and I use it in terms of the delta that appears in these bubbles right here to tell me the narrative of what is he trying to do? Is he selling into buyers or is he buying into sellers? That's what it is. Okay? Plus, it's also nice entertainment. It looks nice on the chart. People call it an abomination. People call it the worm. I just call it beauty. It's just nice to look at. You know? It's like the heart rate. It's Bitcoin's heartbeat, guys, man. Show some love to Bitcoin's heartbeat. Look at it. I should comment on football. The only reason why I know a bit about football is because I've played so much FIFA in the past. All right, I've said this before. There could be a player that is great on FIFA, right? But if someone said to me that a certain player is really good in real life, I would think of it in FIFA. Then I'd be saying, nah, man, he's got really bad pace. And that makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about with FIFA, with football. But the other guy's thinking, well, okay, he knows his football. How does he know he's got really bad pace? And that's just because of FIFA on the Xbox. That's all it was. I don't know nothing about football. I don't know a bit. I know it's a ball that they kick. But that's it. Your wife's... That's funny. That is funny. Okay then, look. Bitcoin's stalled right now, guys. Okay? We got 3 minutes until the start of a new 1 hour candle. Let's just go to the 1 hour time frame just to break down what the candle has done. Ouch. There's your stop hunt, ladies and gentlemen. You sat and witnessed the stop hunt right there. Now listen, we have come back into the previous pools of liquidity. There is still more liquidity for them to take. But the idea is, how much of it are they going to take? So if we get half of this range, let me get a fib to get the midpoint. There we go. So if we consider that's the midpoint of the vector candle, okay? It wasn't a vector candle before. It became a vector candle. And what we find is that when price recovers 50% of the candle, it usually has come back into the point where they have built the positions from. This is what we find. So at most, the range could come back down into this zone right here. Maybe not now, but maybe later on. But it all depends on what happens at the start of the next hour candle. Okay? So let's see what they decide to do. 15-minute time frame looks like it's stalling out. This is the range that we're looking for. Looking in the book map, nice little bit of a recovery. Zooming out just to understand, we've just hit a lot of long liquidations in this range right here. get the longs, go long at the lowest point possible to then mark price back up again to sell into the guys who are trying to sell Bitcoin at that point. Mr. Market Maker can go from there. So let's see if he can do that. Open the shorts from that zone by closing his longs on the way back up. But it all depends on how long they're going to spend marking price down lower, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we got. 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes before we roll out. Again, thank you very much for 1,700 of you beautiful people passing through. Remember, I won't be streaming tomorrow, so make sure that you hit your bells on your phones so that you can get notified on the next time I actually go live. This is what we do. During the day, we break down the price action real time, and then in the evening, we will consolidate and see what it is that we can learn. So tonight's video will be diving into the development of this play and how it ends off in the later session. All right? So let's see what we get at the start of the new 1 hour candle. Can we get a little bit of a recovery? Maybe, or is it going to be a flush through to the downside? The 40,400 is what I'm looking for. Here we go. 3 p.m, ladies and gentlemen. My daughter's going to lose her brain in a sec. She's going to go crazy at me. I need to go pick her up. Let's see if she does follow through. Let's see. Will Bitcoin break down? $258,000 worth of longs liquidated in this zone right here. In this area. Let's see if they do decide to come back up. There it is. Is this the reversal of New York? I don't think they'd be finished yet. It all depends on how the market reacts to it right now. It's the first half an hour of trading. That's the thing about New York. It tends to do reversals. You can have 1 reversal. You can have 2 reversals. Usually the second reversal kind of comes into play when the London session closes, which is around about 5 o'clock, 5:30 UK time. So we're going to see if New York has found the low, or are they just going to finish through and move price down lower, man? We've got to be careful of this. What's Dolly Yen doing? I don't even want to look at the... Oh my day. Look at this nut job right here. If Yen can't break above this area here, then we may have found our low with Bitcoin. But man, just look at it. It's despicable. Here we go. Bitcoin coming in. Are we going to release? Are we going? Look, the liquidity's coming down here now. Here we go. So that interest from earlier at 40,400 could be starting to come in right now, guys. Let's see if it happens. Come on, Bitcoin. Get into that point of interest. Some of you guys that use the volume profile will know that we're probably at the value area lows right now, depending on the range of volume that you're looking at. Let's see if we get it. Come on. One more push. 962 Bitcoin in that range. One more hit lower. That could solidify 3 hits to the low. Let's see if it's going to happen, guys. Volume starting to rise. Tick volume starting to rise at the lows right here. Man, I'm conscious of time. Let's just see if it's going to happen. Will we get the break lower? Let's see. 739 Bitcoin still in that point. Yes, I know. Come on. Still holding. Is it going to break? Will it break? Come on. I want you guys to just see if it's going to happen. Are we going to break into the 40,400? Come on, Bitcoin. Are you going to do that break? Consistent with Mr. Market Maker. 1, 2, 3 hits to the low. Is it going to break through? Shorts getting liquidated. Longs getting liquidated now. They have to release. Come on. Well, it's not that they have to release, but we anticipate them to break into that range because we know liquidity is stacked in that area. We know longs are being liquidated. Look, waves of longs being liquidated. 250,000 there in 87 instances. So 100x traders are being eaten alive right now. The guys that are going long or had been long haven't paid themselves. So if we zoom out, look. Right here. Come on, zoom out a bit more. See if we've got more clarity right there. Look, man. Principle says that we should see commitment in that zone, but it's not. Here we go. There it is. Break 40,400. There's the break. Bang. There she goes. Look at that. Well, what do you know, ladies and gentlemen? It's unfortunate. Bitcoin needs to move back from this point. This is a point of interest, ladies and gentlemen, so we've got to be extremely careful. I can't believe it. What it's doing. Our computer. Come on. Okay. Kill that. Kill that. All right, then. So they've come into that previous point right there. You can see that this is a wick. They've come there, made their way into that point. You can see Bitcoin now has just gone and bled the range, man. Look at that. Eating up the guy's liquidity to the downside. 107 events. Now it's not going to stop, I don't think. 40,400 is what I'm looking for, because we know that is the point of interest in this area here, which we would in principle see support coming in. If they do release beyond that, ladies and gentlemen, then they'll be coming back into, hopefully not, but they'll be coming into this area here of support, which sits at the 39,500 zone. Don't want that to be the case. I want Bitcoin to keep, you know, trying to hold this range, at least preserve yesterday's gains. A lot of volume. Book a taxi. Nah, man, I can't. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, mad love and respect. I hope you've enjoyed today, and I will catch up with you guys later on tonight to finalize if this zone is going to be the reversal point for New York. Mad love and respect. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Peace.